Hey everyone, this is Sean. Did you know that because of this 3D printer, from products that I've developed and created and invented, I have brought in over $15,000 of revenue and sold more than 2,000 items. I want to share with you my story on my journey with creating some of these spirals that you see in my hand today and how you can use a 3D printer to make money on your end as well. When you are starting a business, when you want to invent something, the key is this: get to market quickly. Like, just start selling stuff. That's really the key. It's not about the invention process. It's not about the creation process. It's not about like any of that stuff. It's not even about marketing and all that. All of those are very, very important to success. But the key is get to market quickly, because what if nobody likes your product? What if nobody wants it? What if nobody's even interested? You need to have a way to find out very quickly if people even want to buy your product. Now, up until the age of 3D printers, that was almost impossible and was reserved for a few elite people, unless of course you're making stuff out of sticks and straws or something really simple. If you wanted to make anything out of plastic, or if you wanted to make any sort of product, you're looking at huge R&D budgets, you're looking at investments, you're looking at lots of time, you're looking at going to find manufacturers, you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and sometimes even millions of dollars. Now, the average person doesn't have that kind of money to spend. Now, all that has changed in recent years with the wide availability of 3D printers. So I'll share a little bit of my story with you. A few years ago, I was quite frustrated that it was super hard for me to kind of keep my curtains contained. There was stuff that I could screw into the walls that I could buy, but I didn't want that. There were like different, weird strings that I could buy. I didn't want that either. I wanted something sleek and modern, something that I could just quickly wrap on a curtain when I wanted it open and take off when I wanted it closed. I tried bunches of hacks. I did rubber bands and all that stuff, and I was like, you know what? I think what would be really awesome is if there was a spiral type thing that I could just wrap around the curtain. Well, it turns out there was nothing like that on the market, and I was thinking, you know what? I bet I could 3D print that. So that's exactly what I did. I just whipped up a design. I think in about 15 minutes, I had a spiral. Super easy, super simple shape, right? A spiral. I put it on the curtain and it worked beautifully. And I thought, hey, I bet a lot of other people would like a product like this too. So that is the start of my journey. I started refining the shape so that I could manufacture it. I got it to the point where I could actually create 3 at a time in a tube, and I could have multiple tubes of these 3D printed. And I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna start selling these on Amazon. So what I did was I just started printing and printing and printing and printing a whole bunch of these spirals in white plastic, in black plastic, even in wood filament. So this is actually made out of wood grain filament. I just started printing out a whole bunch of these, wrapping them up, shipping them to Amazon so that they could be sold on Amazon. And to my surprise, they actually sold. In fact, they sold so quickly, I could not print them fast enough. So that is the downfall of 3D printing, at least right now. In the future, hopefully this will change. 3D printing is an extremely slow process. So if you have a product that's selling like hotcakes, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to 3D print them fast enough because it takes a very long time. But what 3D printing can do is you can build up a very large inventory and you can start to explore if people actually like your product. You can change your prices, you can change your shapes, you can do very rapid iterations. I mean, before, if you wanted to change a design on a product, you're talking about a lot of engineering hours. You're talking about retooling molds at manufacturing facilities. Each mold is thousands, tens of thousands, or maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now it's a few little tweaks on a computer and you can just print it out, right? So these are ways that a 3D printer can really help with prototyping, design, and manufacturing. And that's exactly what I did. I got feedback from a lot of people on Amazon. My first few customers are like, hey, I love it, but it was too small or too big or this and that. And I slowly started to refine it, iteration after iteration, until I got it to the point where I was like, all right, I'm quite happy with this. It's selling quickly. Now I need to go on to the next step. Okay, so how much does it actually cost to get started in something like this? Nowadays, you can actually buy 3D printers for even less than $100. So every year, innovation keeps increasing. 3D printers keep getting better, faster, and cheaper. This particular printer, this is a LazBot Taz 5. I got this probably about 3 years ago now for $1,800. So pretty pricey investment for this guy. But like I said, depending on what you're making, you can get by with a lot less expensive of a printer nowadays. There are so many options, so many brands to choose from. Each one of these guys is probably about 50 cents worth of plastic, maybe about 40 to 50 cents worth of plastic. Of course, there are many dozens of different varieties of plastics. Some are expensive, some are less expensive, some are even wood grain, others even have metal in them, lots of different options. And guess what? You don't actually even need to have a 3D printer to get started. I know that's kind of weird because this video is about 3D printers, but there's actually a service called 3dhubs.com. And 3D Hubs is a place where anyone, yourself included, can list your 3D printer, and anyone in your neighborhood can upload a file, and you can 3D print objects for that person, and that's another way to make money. So actually, I've done that many times where I will give a file to another person in my neighborhood or in my city, and they will print a part for me. Maybe I need a certain type of part that my printer can't really handle, maybe a high resolution part or a part made of a certain type of plastic. You can see this. I actually 3D printed this out of solid steel. Okay, not me with my 3D printer, but I actually sent it off to a service to 3D print for me. So even if you don't want to spend the upfront investment to buy your own 3D printer, you can still send your part to somebody else and have them make it for you. Or let's say you don't have a product. You're still wanting to make money off of a 3D printer, but you don't have a product and you're not wanting to deal with manufacturing and trying to market your product. That's great. List your 3D printer on 3D Hubs and you can actually make a decent amount of money with people sending you parts and you printing stuff for people's parts. So lots of different options to make money with a 3D printer. Okay, so just to wrap up my story here, after I found out that I could not print these fast enough, and even if I bought multiple 3D printers, I couldn't print them fast enough, I decided I had the information that I needed. This product was selling, it was a popular product, and I needed to go to manufacturing. So that's when I started exploring different options. I looked at 3D molds. Those cost a lot of money. I would have needed at least $50,000 of investment. I decided, you know what, I can't really do that. Let's look at other options. I actually went to Africa, had them do some prototypes. I actually had somebody in Africa create something out of bamboo. This one I don't feel like was quite market ready. But these little PVC pipe ones, this one's a little bit dirty, but the PVC pipe ones I was a little bit excited about. Had several hundred of those made in Africa, sent over. I did end up selling them, but they sold at a price point that was a little bit too low to sustain. So I decided, all right, I need to go back to the drawing board. These are selling, but I need to find a good product. And that's when I decided, you know what, let's try bamboo again. So I even tried making the bamboo spirals, manufacturing the bamboo spirals myself. I actually 3D printed special attachments. I got some Dremel tools. I built this wooden rig, and I actually started to make them. And despite all that effort, the spirals were terrible. They turned out terrible, completely ugly. I'm like, you know what? I could spend a few more months refining this tool. The tool in itself, I mean, who knows? I could have probably even sold that. And I was like, you know what? I don't have $50,000 to invest in a mold. I don't have months of time to invest refining this rig. Like, I just need to find somebody who's a professional who works with bamboo to do this for me. So I had a company in Vietnam make them and a company in Indonesia make them. And turns out I got a really good product at a great price point from a company in Indonesia. I had them make a lot of these spirals, almost 2,000 of these spirals, and ended up wrapping them up, labeling them, sending them to Amazon, and sold every single one of them. At the end of the story, I made over $15,000 in revenue. I sold over 2,100 spirals, over 1,000 pairs, of these spirals, between the plastic spirals and the bamboo spirals. After everything was said and done, by the time I paid for shipping, by the time I paid for manufacturing, by the time I paid Amazon their fees and their seller fees and their commissions, in the end, although I brought in over $15,000 of revenue, my costs were roughly $15,000 as well. So the end profit was probably only a few $100s after that whole ordeal. So all that to say, I had to make a decision. Did I want to continue this business? I felt like it was good. It was a popular product. It was selling. But right around that time, my HoloLens mixed reality business started kicking off, and I decided I need to make a choice. I need to focus. So decided, all right, I'm not going to make any more of these spirals. I'm going to go ahead and call that a good run. I didn't lose any money. I made just a small tad of money, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about how powerful 3D printers are for entrepreneurs looking to test their ideas quickly, looking to make some money. And I do believe if I had decided to continue with this business, I could have shaved down my costs. I could have found different manufacturers, or maybe even made more, maybe made tens of thousands to lower my costs, or possibly even found an investor and manufactured these out of plastic by getting a mold. And there's lots of different options I could have gone down and I could have grown this into a fairly sizable business probably. But it's just exciting to think about different options, different pathways to go. But the bottom line is, you can, if you have a 3D printer, or even if you don't have a 3D printer, use that. If you have an idea, go ahead and use that, because it is a powerful tool for prototyping. It is a powerful tool to get your idea out into the market quickly with fast iterations. You can easily make thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars without ever even owning a 3D printer, just by sending your files and having somebody else make them for you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I could talk for hours on my experience about every little nitty-gritty detail. If you'd like to learn more, let me know in the comments down below. Who knows, maybe I might turn this into a little video series. Otherwise, feel free to like the video, share it if you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching.